Guys, it is me, the political kid, and today we're going to be talking about why third parties in America will never succeed to gain prominence in politics. Now, there definitely has been some major third party wins in American history. I mean, if you count the Whig Party as a third party, since it isn't technically the Republican Party, there's been 4 Whig presidents, and George Washington was an independent candidate, which means that in total, we've had 5 presidents which are not from the Republican or Democratic Party. Now, the reasons this isn't higher is because we have first past the post voting and the Electoral College. Now, first past the post is basically if you get the most, you win. It's simple, it seems relatively good and not complicated. However, when you look into it, that means that conservative and liberal wings will always unite in one shape or form so they could win, leading to not a lot of other different groups of centrist, far left, or far right parties to actually be in an election so that people could actually voice their opinions. Now, all states in America do have first past the post voting in this sense, except for a few where it's a bit more complicated. But most people who were elected in American history were elected through this method, and it's because the reason that I said earlier. 2 parts from the opposite political sides just form kind of coalitions just so their general majority could win an election. Now, due to this, when we have an electoral college which gets all of the votes on a first past the post to the candidate that got the most. See that rhyme? However, this means that if a third party candidate gets 5% of the vote, the second place candidate gets 40% of the vote, and the major candidate in the state gets 55% of the vote, the third party gets no electoral votes. The second party gets no electoral votes. But the first party gets all of the electoral votes. I kind of hate this system, and yes, it does make elections really tense, considering even if you vote a certain way, the majority of your state does not agree with you, you'll have a almost guaranteed chance that your vote is basically wasted. So that sucks. Now, how could we fix this? So there's been many scholars in political analytics and all these kind of discussions on how we should treat this system. And one of the most thought of is ranked choice voting. Now, it does seem good. It really does seem good, considering that you get to voice all of your opinions on all candidates and not just vote on one. So this gives third parties a lot of leverage, and that is the problem. It isn't balanced because there are hundreds of political parties throughout America, and if we do this ranked choice system, that'll mean other political parties, which certain people like or kind of like but don't really like at the same time, could win when they don't want that. And those parties, which are specifically in those states, would mean that they basically have no chance of winning the election, even the statewide election. So it kind of seems like a wasted rank vote. Due to this reason, this does not work. There have been many systems to this. However, all of this just causes either one of 2 things. General parties, which kind of consist of just 2 opposite political biases. form in a general area, and the slim majority can get you all of the administration. However, if we do ranked choices, a party which could not even be in your state or a state 1,000 miles away could get a few seats or like a lot of percentage of the votes, even if they're in a small majority of states. This does not work. And there are many videos to kind of see solutions where this actually works, but most of the time, whenever we do kind of come up with solutions, they're either a little bit biased towards two major parties or a little bit biased towards a lot of parties. So that's going to be it. I'm the political kid, and yes, I do know a lot about my stuff. But once I hit 1500, I will shave my head. So if you want to make me suffer, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you later. And yes, I might be a little smart for my age. Bye.